The Secretary of State's office says everything overall went very well, and it shows that everybody is ready for November. We've heard from clerks around the state where they saw that lines at polling precincts were down. They expected foot traffic to be down, and it was down. Some of the problems that we did hear about, your viewers and listeners have probably heard about them. Coming out of Detroit, there were some poll workers who did not show up, and that resulted in some of the polling precincts not being able to open on time. There were 3 polling precincts at least who didn't open on time. One of them didn't open until 9 o'clock. Polls are supposed to open at 7 a.m. So that's a delay. And so some voting rights advocates and others are a little bit concerned about what that means for November. There were other concerns specifically in Detroit about polling place locations. The clerk told me, Janice Winfrey told me that their office was caught a little off guard when Detroit Public Schools decided to have summer school this year. And so there were about 20 polling places in Detroit that are supposed to be schools. The school district didn't necessarily feel comfortable having polling places in the school while students were there for summer school, which the clerk said she completely understood, but it forced them to kind of look for some last minute changes, what she described as last minute changes. And so we heard from voters who were a little bit frustrated when they, got a memo or a letter in the mail on the Monday before the election that said, no, you're not going to vote at this place where you've always voted. You're going to vote somewhere else. I talked to a poll worker in Detroit who said that all day they had people coming in and they were shocked that they were supposed to be voting there, or they weren't sure if that was the right polling precinct to be at. So those are some of the logistical issues. But again, that was focused in Detroit. That was some of the there are 500 plus precincts in Detroit, so it wasn't massively spread out, but it was a point of concern. And then, of course, as you mentioned, these are strange times, and so many more voters voted via absentee, via a mail-in ballot, or dropped off these absentee ballots early. And so some of that counting took some time. So some clerks are a little bit nervous about how much time they're going to need and how many more people they're going to need to count all the ballots that they anticipate receiving for the November general election.